This is the plaintiff, Ethel. She says the defendant, her niece, whom she let live in her house, owes her for unpaid rent. That's right, her own family's disrespecting her. She doesn't have time for petty stuff like that, and the defendant needs to pay her the $3,800 she owes. This is the defendant, Karen Winston. She says she's lived in that house rent-free since way before her aunt took control of the family finances. After all, she's a minister, and she doesn't come from a place of hatred and malice like her aunt does. Bottom line, she needs the judge's help setting her aunt straight so they can all live in peace. She's accused of dissing an auntie.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Okay, Ethel, you've asked us to refer to you only by your first name. You are suing Karen Winston, your niece, for $3,800, $600 in rent for December, $600 in rent for January, and $2,600 the remaining balance of a lease that you say you have with her. Now, Karen Winston is your niece, correct?
Yes.
She was living in your house?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Okay. Karen moved there at an early age. And when she graduated from high school, she moved on. Then she came back to live in the house because...
Is this to live in the house with you or to live in the
Yes.
house with somebody else and you inherited that house?
My mother had the apartment upstairs.
Okay.
So my mother's older now. She's 97.
Okay.
And Karen asked to come back. My mother asked me. I said, that'll be good. It'll be company for you, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't working out good
Why?
at all. Well, we don't get along.
You
Never
and Karen
did.
don't, or she,
No,
your mom
Karen
and Karen?
and I don't get
Karen
along.
and you don't get, but you don't live there.
Yes, I do.
Oh, you do live there?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so yes. How is it company for your mom? You're already company for your
Because
mom.
I'm downstairs. I have the basement and parlor floor, and my mother have upstairs apartment. She had 5 rooms upstairs.
Okay.
So we didn't get along, never did. But it is what it is. I don't let that stress me.
Okay.
But like I said, I have my evidence here where she refused to sign a lease. And these
So
are
then
the
how are
two-
you suing for $2,600 for the
Because
remaining
from
of a
the
lease that doesn't
time
exist?
I brought the lease to her to sign. She refused to sign.
Then you don't have a lease. So how are you suing for almost $3,000 on a lease that doesn't exist?
Okay, Your Honor, I didn't understand it.
Okay.
I said I bring it to court, and this way they will straighten it
Okay,
out
all
for
right.
me.
So tell me what happens though, because her having to pay rent was a recent development. Tell me when that became a development.
Oh, when I asked for $800 a month.
When did you ask for that?
It was in February
Of what year?
of 2012, February 15th.
Okay. So are you saying she
2012.
started paying rent in February?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And how much rent was she paying?
Well, she gave me $600. I asked for $800.
And you decided to accept $600 a month?
I had no choice at
So
the
then,
time.
well, you had a choice. When did it become your house? It was always your house?
It became my house in January
Of what year?
2012.
Oh, and then the next month you told Karen she had to pay rent?
Yes.
Whose house was it before that?
It was a family house.
Meaning who? Karen's mother?
My father,
Okay.
my father, which was her grandfather,
And
and me.
what? Does anybody have the deeds to the house?
No, I didn't bring it. I'm
Do you have it?
sorry.
No,
Go ahead.
the family house belonged to my mother, my aunt, and it was my grandfather's. Because there was no will of my grandfather's, my aunt asked me would I do a reverse mortgage so that we can insure the home.
Wait, hold on. Your grandfather died,
Right. In
He didn't have a
1970
will.
Right.
and there's a
house-
97-year-old grandmother who is the grandmother of those same kids.
Right.
All right, and she's alive.
Yes.
All right, so if he dies intestate, in likelihood, the house belongs to the 97-year-old. How did the house go from the possession of the 97-year-old to the possession of one of the 2 siblings?
The 2 children he had, his 2 children.
His 2 children are,
My mother, who's passed away, and my
Okay.
aunt Ethel.
and your aunt.
Right.
All right.
Because my grandmother and my grandfather wasn't legally married. So it went to the children.
Okay, but you're the daughter of one of his two children.
Which was my mother.
Your mother. All right, so two children.
So she asked me to do a reverse mortgage.
Did?
My aunt.
You asked for a reverse mortgage?
Right.
But you don't even own the house yet. Your mother owns a house.
No, my mother didn't own the house.
The only person who owned the house was your father?
My father.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when he dies intestate, it goes to not his wife because she's not his wife,
right?
But you and Karen's mother.
Right.
Yes.
All right.
And
Karen's mother at that point was already deceased.
Yes.
So the house belongs to you and
Right.
Karen.
And-
so
right.
that's why I keep scratching my head and wondering how you're charging her rent.
And then my brother who passed away as well, so he had a wife. And because my brother had a wife, it went to us.
His wife.
Right, as well. So when she did the reverse
it's
mortgage.
half you and half you and your brother's wife.
Right.
Right. So what happened?
She asked, when she did the reverse mortgage, she took my name off the deed because the house needed to be insured. She didn't put it
What
back.
is that? Well, I don't even care. With all this garbage about the house needs to be insured, so I'm off a deed. What, did you talk to a lawyer
No.
before you signed documents?
I was doing it for the sake, because she told me nothing was going to change.
Really? And you
She
believed
said-
her?
I believed her because she was my aunt. I mean, that's my mother's sister. I took it to heart of saying that the house needed to be done. Something had to be done. I came home to take care of my grandmother because she never took care of her mother. And this is what I ended up with. I ended up she asked for $900 a month, and I said, no way. So I knew.
Yeah, but how could, wait. This house is a quarter yours. How did it end up not being a quarter hers?
Now, may I answer?
What I'm trying to understand is how did you manage to take a house that was half yours, a quarter hers, and a quarter brother's wives and make it all yours? I don't understand what happened.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So, the simple question, would you sue a relative?
Yes,
Why?
because they stiffed me.
True, you could ruin the relationship.
Yeah, but at that point, the relationship has already been ruined.
Fair point. You agree?
Absolutely. I think if somebody in your family lets you down, then they deserve what's coming to them.
Interesting. Ma'am?
Absolutely agree. If anybody screwed me, I don't care if it's family or not, I would sue them.
I love this. This is the first group ever down here, because I've asked people this before. First group where it's grand slam to sue them. Good for you guys. You're lousy relatives. Going inside the courtroom.
I want to see the papers
No.
from the lawyer. I want to see the papers.
Well, I didn't bring that. I would have to.
You have them? Let me see what's in there.
Here they
I
are.
would-
Here they are. That's from the
So
reverse
then what
mortgage.
did she get you to sign?
This is what I had to sign in order for everything. And she bought me out, actually, for I guess through doing the reverse
So
mortgage.
she gave you money.
They gave me money.
Okay, so you bought her out. That's how you own it?
Yeah. I
So then
didn't
you gave her
understand.
money and bought her out.
Yes.
Did you buy out brother's wife as well?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. How much money did you get?
$100 and
$16,000?
Right.
All right, I don't feel so bad now. All right. Now let's move on. At that point, when you pay her and you pay the brother's wife, now you own the house. So now you decide you want to charge rent, which is perfectly legitimate.
Okay.
Okay. So you say to her, I want 800. She says to you, no, I can only afford 600. And then she pays 600 February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October.
Started paying it before then.
November.
It was a month.
All right, whatever. November, everything's fine until December of 2012, right? And that's the first month that she doesn't pay.
Yeah.
What does she say is the reason she doesn't pay?
She came in from work that day. I came out. I said, Karen, where's the rent? She says, I'm moving. I said, when? She never gave me an answer. When I went to file the papers for small claim court,
Well, do you file
January-
eviction, right?
yeah, no,
No.
I went to a small claims court.
Okay.
I didn't go. When I came home, she was moving. That was January the 7th.
Okay.
I have
Did you pay
evidence of
December rent?
patron-
No, I did not. I informed her 30 days before my move that I
When
was
did you inform her?
December the 2nd that I would be moving
You
on
had said December 6th in your
No,
statement.
it's
It's either
December
the 6th
5th.
or the 5th. Okay.
The 5th
Okay.
of December.
5th of December, you tell her I'm moving on January.
The 7th.
No,
I
you
told
did
her I
not.
was leaving January 7th. She said to me, great. That's what she said at first. And she said, good, things will get better. And I came in on January 7th. I had my moving company to come.
Where did you move?
I bought a home.
Bought a home. Good for you.
Bought a home with what I
Good.
received. So, yes.
Good.
So I like I said, I never thought that this was going to come to this. You know, I always, like I said, to this day, being that my aunt is my mother's only sister, and they was just the two of them, Losing my mother and my only sibling, which is my brother. To this day, my aunt has never embraced me and told me she was there for me or said to me, if you need anything, I'm there. If I would have just gotten that alone, would have been enough to suffice. I haven't even gotten that from her since they've passed away. And so I'm just saying, I'm hoping that this brings some closure to all of this, because for family to be in court to fight over something, I would have never signed those papers for her to do the reverse mortgage if I thought this was going to lead to this.
You know, I personally would prefer not to be in business with my family. I love my family, but these are the kinds of things that happen when you, so I always think it is a good idea to divest of the assets, and that way when you get together it's to talk about Turkey and how the kids are doing, and so there's a different aspect to the get together rather than, you know, who's selling the house and what's, I don't know what the value of the house is. I don't know if that was a fair price or not. That was up to you to make sure at the time that it was happening. I see that you've been able to use that money and do good things for yourself. You were able to buy your own home. Yes. So these are good things. You don't want to be financially enlaced with a woman you've never gotten along with. No. Okay? So, you know, some aunts are warm and fuzzy, and some aunts are not. And I don't know, you can't make her warm and fuzzy. If this is not who you've ever had there, I don't know why you think you have her now. I'm sorry that you lost your mother and your brother. That's awful. But let me tell you why we're here. It has nothing to do with the house or the reverse mortgage or her buying you out. What we're here about is rent. Because you made an agreement with her a year earlier to pay rent to stay there, because it's now her house. And if she could rent to you, she could rent to somebody else. And then you were paying rent, and then one fine day you stopped paying rent, right? You say you didn't pay December, and you say you didn't leave till January 7th, correct? Right. Okay, all right. Well, here's where the problem lies. Where are you from?
Brooklyn.
Okay. Different states have different laws about how much notice you have to give in a month to month. You happen to live in one of the boroughs of New York. And in any of the boroughs of New York City, you do not have to give a 30-day notice. So there is no notice problem, but you were living December, so you do have to pay December. You certainly don't have to pay the remaining of a lease that never existed that you never signed. So I find in favor of the plaintiff in this case for the amount of December rent, $600, and I wish all of you good luck.
Thank you.
Well, it's nice to see a smile on the defendant's face coming out of the courtroom, because for a while there, I wasn't so sure how you were holding up.
Thank you.
How are you holding up?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm just glad now that this is over and we have some closure with it, and knowing that I didn't have no malice against her. I'm hoping that she'll understand that I'm still her niece. And
you said you just wanted her to be in your life supporting you, right?
That's all.
And would you still accept her in there?
Yes, of course.
Right. That's what you want. Okay, you head right down this way. Good luck to you. All right, so come on in here. You satisfied with what you got out of this case?
Yes, I am.
Not all of it, anyway.
No.
She says you've turned a cold shoulder toward her. Why don't you support her?
I will never deal with her no more in this life.
Why is that?
You don't know the beginning. You're just getting the end. So I'm not going to put my dirty laundry out there.
Okay, Arby.
You know, I got to say, when you're dealing with a relative, it's kind of counterintuitive. It's all the more important to nail everything down in writing, because you don't want to screw up the relationship. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.